Another mass shooting of school children, another trail of broken lives, and another round of Republican lies about guns. Only this time, Republicans are practically dancing in the streets, because this time they can deflect and distract away from gun control by blaming the fact that the shooter was transsexual. So now not only do they get to run the same playbook, but they get to keep up their war on trans people as part of the equation. And it was all going so swimmingly until Sebastian Gorka, one of Trump's stooges for counterterrorism, ran up against CNN's Breonna Taylor, who brutally fact-checked him into incoherent name-calling. I'm going to show video clips of Gorka getting gored, but first the name we need to talk about is Vance Bolter. Now you're probably asking, who's Vance Bolter? And that's precisely the point. Vance Bolter is the guy Republicans want you to forget all about. And why do they want you to forget him? Because he's a crazy right-wing gun nut who went on a rampage in Minnesota, killing Democratic politicians. He murdered former Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, Melissa Hortman, and her husband, Mark. But that's only after he dressed up as a cop and forced his way into the home of State Senator John Hoffman, where he proceeded to shoot Hoffman and his wife, Yvette Hoffman. Bolter then went on to the houses of other Democratic lawmakers who weren't home. Republicans could not make this story go away fast enough, and you sure as heck don't hear them talking about Bolter these days. Why? Because after police engaged in gunfire with Bolter, they searched his vehicle and found 3 AK-47 assault rifles, a 9mm handgun, and a list with dozens of names and addresses of other Democratic officials. Bolter joins a long list of angry right-wing white men who go on gun rampages, and this one was directly political, directly and unequivocally motivated by the rhetoric of right-wing media and Republican political discourse. But the important point here is that the right wing does not want to admit that easy access to assault weapons is the root of the problem. So now watch Gorka get slammed for trying to run the deflection game.
Okay, so let me ask you about this. 96% of attackers when you're looking at the U.S. Secret Service National Threat Assessment Center, looking at 172 mass attacks in the U.S., between 2016 and 2020, 96% were non-trans men. So I know you're focusing on this shooter being trans. The shooter was trans, and that is certainly of note. But are you missing the bigger picture here when you zero in on that instead of more broadly these school shooters as an epidemic, and you perhaps miss the through line that connects them all?
Well, no, because your facts obfuscate two things. You are using data based upon the predominant gun violence, which is gang-on-gang violence with zero ideological content. If you remove all of that, the gang violence on the streets of Chicago, LA, Detroit, then you come down to a much smaller data set.
She caught him in real time. She exposed him as the fraud that he is. And really, you have to love the racism of his first counter argument, that black people killing black people should not be counted in the statistic that easy access to guns is the root of the problem. And I mean, why should it, right? Because after all, they're black people. Oh, but he's not done.
The fact that it was anti-Christian and targeting children. That has nothing to do with gang violence. Let's not mix the two things up.
So let's narrow it down then, because by CNN's count, when you look at 32 school shootings since 2020, in which you have 4 or more people who have been killed. So these are the larger school shootings. Only 3 of 32 of those shootings were committed by transgender shooters.
Yeah, forgive me if I don't go with CNN stats, okay? CNN has proven itself to be wholly inaccurate in all kinds of things for the last 10 years, perpetrators of the Russia hoax, and that we didn't have an open border. So please forgive me if I don't take your stats for granted.
All right, it's simple math. 2 of 32
No, it's
shootings.
not. It's distortions. You are distorting the facts. Let me be clear. In just a couple of years, we have seen 7 mass shootings involving people of transgender nature or who are confused in their gender. 7
I saw what
in
you
just
tweeted.
the last couple of years.
I see
That
your
is
list of 7.
inordinately high. So
I see your
please,
list of 7. 2 of them
I'm
are
going to see
Sebastian and
I'm going
Mr.
to stick
Gorka.
with the facts and not
Okay.
not CNN's pseudo facts.
We can't stick with your facts because they're not accurate. In fact, in 2 of them, one of the ones you quoted.
Let's talk about CNN's reputation for accuracy.
In one of the ones in which you posted, there was no evidence that he was trans.
Right.
So kudos to Keeler for calling out Gorka on every point. She demonstrated that this playbook is getting old, but they will keep running it until we call them out on it with the facts. Now it's time for others to do the same thing. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.